This is a short instructional video that explains how to create a corolla fold, and it really is instructional. It's not going to be in-depth or fancy. So the corolla, if it's made correctly, you can kaleidoscope it. You can turn it so that you can see different. This one is made out of some nicer paper, but I really suggest that as you start, you use some just very plain copy paper and you practice the fold before you start trying to make it out of a fancier or stiffer paper. So this is, like I say, just copy paper that I've used to learn how to make the fold. I've also created an instruction sheet, and I'll put this with the video. One of the things that I'm suggesting is, as you learn, the first time you do it, you mark your paper with the fold lines. And I have a fold line instruction for A and a fold for side B. This will help you as you're getting started learn how and where to put the folds, because it really is helpful to have some nice creased folds as you start working. So the first part is the paper. I suggest this size is 4 inches by 16 inches. I'm going to be working on a 12 by 3 inch. The 16 by 4 inches is a nice size to learn to fold on, but I don't have enough room on my board to do that. And I also wanted to show you using some paper that had 2 different colored sides so you could see my A and my B side. So step 1 is creasing your paper. And this is my A side and this is my B side. The first thing I'm going to do is fold it in half along the long lengthwise. Because you have slight differences in the top and the bottom sections. So then I fold it in half again. We're going to have 8 sections. And this is just a way that I have found. If you want to measure it off, you can. It's a fairly fast way to so you'll end up with 8 squares across the bottom and 8 squares across the top. And I just put that one in the wrong spot, but that's okay, because this is part of learning. And that, if I had my lines on there, I would have gotten it in the right place. So we now have 8 squares across the bottom and 8 squares across the top. And those are going to be folded slightly differently. So you notice all of these are folds in the same direction. The next thing is for your A side, you're going to fold, and you're going to just fold the bottom and the top part of the top one, and then the next one. Just the bottom and the top part. And we do that all the way across. You can actually fold and then fold it out the other way, but I'm not going to do that. And we'll continue doing that till we have all of our folds across here. So after I have all of my fold lines folded for the A side, and again, if you either draw it on your right on your paper, or if you refer to it, so you make sure and get those folds in the right place. Then I turn it over to my B side, and I'm going to do diagonals across each of the 8 sections on the bottom. And you're going to do diagonals in both directions. But you don't go all the way, you just go to that middle. So you can see there's a diagonal across here. And I will make a diagonal. I often fold it in half like that to give me a good place to line up. Because you want those nicely creased. It's going to help you a lot when you start folding if you have really nice creases, because this will be going in, and then we need diagonals that go in this top section. But again, just be that top part of the paper. It won't be all the way down, just to the middle there. So we'll have a diagonal there, we have a diagonal there, because this is going to then be part of our fold, and you want some nice crisp folds there. Make it much easier as you move on. Okay, I have all of my creases in. I've checked to make sure they're nice sharp creases. It really is going to make it easier for you if you've got all of the creases done so that they're ready to go. This is my A side again, and I've marked 2 spots here. These are going to touch each other all along. Right in here, these are all going to come together. So this is the kind of tricky part. So you will be pushing in on both sides here. You'll be at the same time that you're getting those 2 spots to match up. All right, and you see you end up with this little triangle. And this one is going to go, this side is going to go underneath that side when it's all in. If it doesn't, we can go back and we can change that afterwards. So again, next one, push in on those 2. Those 2 spots go together. That one is trying to go in the wrong direction. And I am just going to let it and then go back and change it. Push in on those 2 spots. Those 2 go together. Push in on those 2 spots. See, we're getting our row of little triangles there. Push in on those two spots. Push in there. These two go together. Sometimes they decide that they're not going to do that. Sorry about that, but I had some that just did not want to. Those last ones just are not wanting to cooperate. So now we have this, and we go back and we check to make sure, and sure enough, this one is going in the wrong direction. See how we've got all of these have only got one corner coming in. This one should be going that way. And now they're going all in the right direction, and you have it completely folded correctly. Now, in order to make the corolla, you're going to have to glue it, and I haven't found a way to glue it so it can come unglued, because you're not actually gluing the pieces together. And I'll show you the difference with these two that I've already done. This one, I glued the end pieces together, and you can see it does not work. It's not going to fold correctly. What you have to do is you're actually going to put an extra piece over the edge. So I have cut a little section. Let me take one that, here's just like we were doing before, our triangles. And I'm going to take my little section, and I am not gluing these pieces together. It will come out wrong if you do that. I am gluing a piece on here, and then this piece will be glued on here. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'll have two little glued sections, but not here. You have to have these extra pieces so that it will, see, there's my extra piece here, there's my extra piece here. Those are in the right place, and so it works. If you end up and you glue this to this,